Hello fellow traders, welcome to another episode of this series. Thank you very much for your support and for subscribing to my channel. I'm not quite sure how to split the profits to my subs because I created this channel with a real account. We have already doubled our initial 100 USD account since April 2020. Of course, as I promised, in some certain milestones I will give away to 3 random subscribers. So the first milestone would be at 100 subs because it's not clear, and I also got a question for that, so stay tuned. Today we have another tutorial video on alligator indicator. It's another channel indicator created by Bill Williams that I have said in many of my videos that it's one of the person that affected me most with chaos theory, fractals and the indicators, because he's always using the golden ratio numbers. Unfortunately, we cannot avoid them when we are using this kind of concepts, when we are trading this kind of entities. I have gave you some tips for trading because I rarely use indicators. I will most likely depend on price action, but don't worry, be patient. We will analyze also in this series. Here is the formula of the indicator. Williams is using golden ratio very often to define values. We don't know why, but they are working, especially when we want to conceive this kind of ideas, when we want to calculate some chaotic numbers that apparently look chaotic, but if you check further, they are not. I have done a separate video, so you can check it. These numbers are much older. We are still using this catchy name Fibonacci. It was not the first one to propose. This is ridiculous. Egyptians and Greeks set their foundations of their civilization, applied these techniques in architecture and pretty much in calculating and put them in their daily life. The indicator uses 3 moving averages. That's why I have done a separate video, another separate video for moving average, because if you are newbies in trading, it's very important to understand what's a moving average, what is a smooth moving average, weighted in typical prices and so on. That I have already give this kind of explanations, or if you have any question, you know that in tutorials you are free to ask whatever you want, whatever comes into your mind. Again, if you cannot understand these concepts, most likely trading is not for you. I don't want to discourage you. It's just something that you have to get used to it. If you want to be creative and not replicate it in 95%. The main idea of a moving average, as we have analyzed it here, is to create the sensation of a slower line, let's say, that follows the market. The jaw, it's the blue line. It's a 13 bar smooth moving average, and smooth by the value of 8. Now all the values of the indicators are golden ratio values. The teeth, it's a much faster line, the red line. Of course it's faster, it's got much smaller values. It's an 8 smoothing average, smooth by the value of 5. And the lips, it's the green line, starts with a 5 smooth moving average and smooth by 3. All these are golden ratio number. We will open them and check exactly how they are working in live markets. Okay, now let's see. Let's open our platform. We have applied the indicator on the Canadian. These are the major properties of the alligator. These are the inputs that I've told you. They are all golden ratio numbers. Now, how this indicator works. The indicator uses 3 moving averages, as we said, and generates convergence and divergence when the line starts to moving apart it means that the indicator is start to show us a trend. The alligator is awaken. The blue line, because we have said what is a moving average, it's much slower. The red line is slow and the green is the fastest one. So at this point that the alligator has his mouth closed, that's why we will use these metaphors to understand what we are talking about. It means that the market is not, the market is sleeping, the alligator is sleeping. The lips are closed, the teeth are closed, the alligator has a closed mouth. When the lines are started to getting apart, it means that the market is awakened. We have a trend. This might be in some choppy periods that you're gonna see here. And now look what happened here. The blue line, the jaw, of course, it's the smaller one in reactions. So the first one that you will see to reacting are the lips. The first thing that the alligator will open up are his lips. This is normal. There's not something behind it. It's using the fastest moving average. So of course, the first thing that will get the difference, will get a change in the market, will be the lips. The second one is the teeth. Now, when these three are moving apart, we have a strong trend. I mean, the market is awakened. The same with our alligator. And that's why you can see at this point, the alligator is awakened. I have said already that you cannot trade by using indicators and some moving averages. It's just a tool. It's not perfect. You will have many false signals. Now, if you check, I have applied this in the 4-hour chart. You see that when the market, the alligator has its closed mouth, the market is not trending. When the lines start to separate from each other, then we have a strong trend. And of course, the opposite, when the market is going to the downside, you see here that the mouth is closed, and now the mouth is open to the downside. This time the lines are start getting away, are start to diverge from between them. No, the distance is getting bigger, so we have a trend. Of course, you will see that with this indicator you will have many false signals, and this is some negative aspects of the indicator. And of course, it's too late. Again, it's too late. Of course, the indicator might be working as a future indicator by measuring momentum, because Bill Williams is very clear at this. The market first changes momentum, and after that the prices. So our initial fellow trader that knows how to work with this indicator, he's ready to enter at somewhere at this point. But again, it's too late. It's too late leaving to the trade. Of course, if she can combine that with some prices, she could enter earlier. But then, of course, she's combining the indicators with some price actions and some previous tops or lows, either the direction that he wants to move. Now, what I have done, because I've told you, be creative with your indicators and play with the values so you can understand what they are doing and how exactly they are working. Now check the value of this indicator, 13853. Okay, we have golden ratio numbers, easy to understand, easy to explain. When the alligator is sleeping, the jaws are closed, the market is sleeping. We are waiting for a market to wake up. This is for sure. This is how the market works. There are moments that the market is sleeping, there is no movement, there is no direction, and when the market is awakened, it's also graphical representation. It's very obvious that the market is moving up, and that's what we are searching, a sweet point that will give us a high risk reward ratio and everything we have analyzed in this series. Don't make me repeat myself. Now look the values, 13, 8, 5. Okay, these are our basic, the blue line, the red line, and the green line. Okay, now let's double the values. Okay, now what will happen? Ta-da! Here what we did, we double the values of the indicator. We used 21, 13, 8. We used the next values of our golden ratio. Okay, we used 3, 5, 8, 5, 8, 13, 8, 13, 21. And now we advance our indicator by one golden ratio number. By meaning one, we didn't add one. We used the next golden ratio numbers. You see now how the diagram changed, and now the indicator starts to project a bit more in the future. The reason is that we increased our smooth averages, and now it changed entirely. I continue adding some values, and we go to the next pair of numbers, and you see how the indicator changed again. Now the blue line, of course, is the slower one. Check the properties. Now I have used 34, 21, and 13. The more I change the values, the more smooth the entire indicator becomes. We are keeping the same analogies here. Otherwise, we wouldn't have an alligator. We have something different. Be patient. We will check some experimental indicators using the golden ratio, so you don't have to worry about that. Or if you want to send me an experimental indicator, feel free to do it. There is a description in my email. Do not expect me to answer the same day, please. Now, let's go to our initial diagram, our initial alligator with the initial values in it. Let's go to the second one. You see how the indicator becomes smooth and changed. And let's go to the third one. Now, if you compare the first one with the third one, you will see a very different result. Now, the main question is what values should I use? I think you missed the point here. That's why we did this documentary. By changing or adjusting your indicator, first, you need to be able to understand what does this indicator do, what we can use this indicator for. Bill Williams, you'll check in all of his indicators. Again, you don't have to worry about that. All his indicators will be analyzed in this channel and many others. There will be hundreds of videos explaining all the indicators, the pros and the cons, and this is the reason that we are doing this tutorial. The main objective of this series is to have a better insight in trading and how it can be done profitably and of course consistently. The negative aspects of this indicator is that you will get many false signals, and of course you will always go too late, and this is the problem. If you have identified an uptrend and you want to apply this indicator, now the problem is that we do have an uptrend at this point, but it is so much choppy that the indicator cannot work, and you don't know that when you are entering a trade. You don't know how the prices will come up. Okay, we are lucky at this point at using the indicator. We have a very smooth downtrend. We have an enter point here. The alligator, the lips are start to going apart away, the divergence of the line, and it opens the mouth. So we will continue following this trend, and everything would be fine. Now, even though the prices hit at this point, we are still good. Remember, we are using a moving average, and this is the problem. This is the problem when we are always using moving averages. We are always too late, and when the market becomes choppy, you won't be able to be profitable consistently. Our fellow trader here now followed the trend really well and did an amazing, he executed an amazing trade. At this point, he's ready to go out, and he did. He might wait or expect the market to move up. Remember, you don't know what will happen in the future. So if you are at this point, that you have started your initial trading to the downtrend and you got to go to an uptrend or a downtrend, it doesn't matter. Now check this point. Our trader feels confident. He is not quite sure where to go out. Okay, he's gonna go at this point. We have the divergence of the market. Now, the initial trading of the indicator is very specific. I have analyzed that. But you have to see further in the indicator. And even if you change the values, I will put the smoother values here. Okay, they worked in this trend perfectly. Even though I double the values, but they are smooth, so we are still good. Now, the indicators still becomes unable to detect the market because the market was choppier. So here it comes the initial problem when you are entering the trade, and of course you need to put your stop loss. So it's not only entering the trade, you need to know where to put a stop loss because the line might be converged, but you will see that it's not able to maintain your trade. So you need also to have a target, a risk-reward ratio. We have analyzed that. So this indicator can become another hindsight of a moving average. And you understand, of course, the problems of using this indicator. I hope you like the video. I try to do it much smaller. Unfortunately, like in every video, I want you to be creative with your indicators and don't just think like rabbits. This is the reason that I have created this channel and this series. Now, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Trade safe, and I hope I'll see you in the future.